Hi, I'm Paul Begley. Good morning, good afternoon, I guess now. Well, hey,
This EU bailout, the European Union's bailout of Ireland, I mean, this is being glossed over by most of the world. Even the world media. I'm not even going to talk about the American media for a moment. Talk about the world media. Do you understand how critical? Why am I wearing? I need to wear my Irish hat. Can you give me a second? I really do, because I am Irish. Begley in Ireland. Begley is Begley. So let me wear my Irish hat, okay? Ireland is getting bailed out because Ireland is broke. Ireland is flat, rock bottom, busted, okay? Busted and disgusted. Broke, busted, disgusted. It's over. Just put a fork in them. It's over. It's over. It's over. Let me read this to you, though, because if you're not concerned about Ireland, then you don't have a clue. The world economic situation, the world currency is literally bogus at this very moment. It's just a matter of time till the Antichrist rises up and says, let me tell you the solution. Now let me read to you, first of all. This is coming out of Ireland, and from Dublin, Ireland. Investors sold off Ireland's bank shares, and the government struggled to survive after conceding that it will need a massive bailout, a measure meant to contain Europe's debt crisis, but which experts say will fail because it will fail to protect other vulnerable countries, particularly Portugal. Now remember Greece, okay? Ireland's rescue, which follows Greece's rescue in May of this year, 2010, is the European Union's latest attempt to win back the market confidence and to keep its euro currency union from unraveling. But the cost, both monetarily and political, is rising and likely to swell even further. You see, Prime Minister Brian Cowen's government faced an immediate threat to its survival, and it should. The country's busted. Their policies have broke them, and what they are, they're policies of liberalism. They're policies of a liberal agenda, a socialist society that's built on a impossible utopia that nobody has to work, but everybody deserves everything. Well, I'm sorry, that's not how the real world works. And America is coming to its knees to find out the same thing. Let me finish. Prime Minister Brian Cowen's government faced an immediate threat to its survival as coalition allies in the Green Party, stung by Ireland's surprise weekend decision to seek a bailout that could approach euro 100 billion euros, or 140 billion US dollars, which the US dollar's no good. So that means the European Union euro is worthless, and the US dollar is dragging down the world currencies of countries like China, Germany, Japan, Brazil, and all over the world. Let me finish though. This $100 billion euro bailout threatens to withdraw unless he announces a January national election. So they're basically saying to President Brian Cowen, you got to go. As a matter of fact, you got to announce some new elections. We got to have. You can't run the show anymore. We're broke, busted, and disgusted here in Ireland. Okay, so analysts agree that Cowen faced almost certain ouster from the office within weeks. There's no question, possibly by lawmakers within his own Fianna failed party. If not, the Greens' demand means he will lose his majority anyway by the new year, and the parliament will be dissolved for a winter election. So they're saying basically, if you don't step down or allow us to vote someone else in, we're going to take over the parliament anyway, and you're going to be a lame duck president. You're going to be useless. Amid the rising public disgust with Cowen's mishandling of the euro, 50 billion, which is $62 billion, of a bank bailout, that Ireland can't afford its activists from the Irish National Sinn Féin Party stormed the entrance gates of Cowen's central Dublin office and scuffled with police. It's starting. It's starting. The government's broke. It's busted. And it's going to affect the people. Folks, this ain't just a political thing. It's the way of life in Ireland is going to cease as they know it right now. The social benefits, entitlements are going to dry up, and they're not going to be there. The people are going to realize they don't have work. Those who aren't working are going to be told you have to work. And when they go to find work, there is no jobs. Welcome to America. Welcome to the worldwide financial crisis. The Bible says it, that in the last days you will not be able to buy or sell unless you have the mark of the beast. Now, you say, Paul, come on. I mean, we've heard that all our life. I know it's in Revelation. I'm telling you. The Antichrist shall rise. The beast is the system. The false prophet is radical Islam, jihadist, Muslim militant theology that says you only can worship Allah and Allah alone. And as these radical jihadist Muslims team up with communist Red China and Russia, they will strong-arm the rest of the world, especially the Europe and Americans, to surrender their Christian faith, their Christian existence. They will topple it. If you're going to eat, you will take the mark of the beast. You cannot buy or sell unless you have the name, which is the number of that name is 666. This is all in the book of Revelation. The European Union when it formed was the beginning of a one world currency. They did it to bail out their little countries because the European nations were in trouble. They did it. It was a Band-Aid. That Band-Aid has peeled off. Now they're seeking more Band-Aids. Greece had to have it or they were gone in May of 2010. They got another little Band-Aid patch. Now Ireland has to have it. That's going to force Portugal to have it. Soon the entire EU will have to have it. And while they're falling, America is falling as well. Let me give it to you in simple math. America is busted. It borrowed let's just say there's $8 US in the world. $8 in the entire world market. America borrowed 3 of those US dollars from China. China said, fine, pay us back 4. But America didn't have the 4 to pay back. So what they did is they went and printed money, monopoly money, funny money. And let's say they printed 20 more dollars. Now there's $28 in the world. America turned to China and said, here's your $4 back. China says, wait a minute, that's worthless. We were expecting half of your gross national product, not $4 out of 28. This is funny money. And that tears down guess what that did to the Chinese yen? It made the Chinese currency watered down. Now, China's a thriving economic country right now on the backs of its people with its communist regime of slavery. They've built an empire on the backs of the slaves that they've made out of communist China, where you cannot pack a Bible and hold a prayer service or a Christian worship service. So it's coming down to the good versus evil. Greed has sold out America. The U.S. dollar is no good. The European euro is worthless. And now the Chinese currency is facing possible catastrophic ramifications. And so that's when the beast system will be implemented by who? The Antichrist, who will come and bring peace and he will bring peace and prosperity and soften all the threats of wars. And he will bring this into a new world order, a one world government known as the mark of the beast, 666. The beast shall rise. The Antichrist will declare that he is God. He will suffer a wound and recover from it. The false prophet, which is Muhammad, has already spoken. We're on the brink of the beast. Do I need to go to part 2 on this? I mean, I was just going to talk about the economics of what's happening to Ireland and Greece and Portugal and the EU and the United States and the world economy. But this thing is moving in a prophetic unction right now. So I'm going to get my Bible, go watch part 2. Ireland collapses, the beast shall rise, part 2. I'm Paul Begley.